Rupert Sheldrake is a biochemist, and he's one of the most innovative biologists in the world. He's done extensive pioneering research on mental telepathy, animal precognition, and other forms of paranormal activity. But he's probably best known for his controversial theory on morphic resonance and morphogenetic fields. Perhaps more than any other scientist alive, Rupert Sheldrake has thrown the spotlight on areas of scientific research that were long ignored by conventional science. And while his provocative theories continue to stir the pot, one thing that he has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt is that science can be fun.
Morphic fields are fields that organize all self-organizing systems, by which I mean atoms, molecules, crystals, cells, tissues, organs, organisms, and societies, and probably also ecologies, planets, solar systems. In nature, there are lots of levels of organization. At every level, the whole is more than the sum of the parts, and the parts are wholes themselves, like atoms are wholes within molecules, which are wholes, and molecules whole units within crystals, which are whole units, and so on. And I'm suggesting that each level of wholeness, each morphic unit, is organized by a morphic field, which shapes it, gives it its form and structure. These fields have an inherent memory, so that each kind of thing has a collective memory. The memory is given by the process I call morphic resonance. So each species has a collective memory. Each giraffe, for example, tunes into the experience of previous giraffes by morphic resonance, and in turn contributes to this collective memory. In the human realm, this means there's a collective unconscious or collective memory that we all tune into and contribute to. Well, morphic fields have a kind of memory, so anything we do will affect the human morphic field. If we learn something new, it will affect the human morphic field and make it easier for other people to learn the same thing. So learning new sports, learning new kinds of computer programming, even having new ideas, all these things will make it easier for other people to do the same thing later. Each of us has an individual choice or responsibility as to what field we tune into. A bit like TV channels. We don't create all the channels that are out there on the TV set. Well, some of us do, you do. But most people don't create the TV channels, but they do have the choice over which one they tune into. And in terms of human behavior, we don't create the possible forms of human behavior most of the time, but we do have a choice over which we tune into. In science at the moment, there's a lot of interest in the nature of consciousness. Scientists ignored consciousness for centuries. It simply didn't fit into physics, chemistry, or biology. It was ignored altogether. In the last 20 years, it's become an important part of scientific inquiry. And the Toward a Science of Consciousness conferences in Tucson are part of that. They're one of the main forums in the world for this discussion. And one of the debates that's going on is consciousness just a matter of brain activity? Is it all in the brain? Or is it more than that? This is now an active debate within the research community. And the people who think it's nothing but the brain, they're finding it harder and harder to sustain that. Of course, we all know that changes happen in the brain when thoughts occur and when you see things and so forth. But changes in the brain don't prove it's nothing but the brain. Like when someone sees me on a video screen or on a television screen or on a computer screen, changes are happening inside the apparatus corresponding with the picture on the screen. But that doesn't prove there's a little me somehow inside the set, and it's nothing but something going on inside the set. In a television, you need the set, you need the energy, you need all the right components, but you also need the invisible transmissions to which the television is tuned in. And without those invisible fields that influence the TV set, you wouldn't have the picture. I think in the brain's a bit like the TV set. It's more like a receiver and a transmitter than a video recorder. It's not all in the brain, but the brain is part of it, and if you damage the brain, you affect what happens. I think a shift in model of reality, a model of the mind, could completely change our view of the relation of our mind and bodies. It would have a big influence on medicine, because at the moment the official theory in medicine is that the body is just a machine that runs according to physics and chemistry. So you can treat the body by physical methods like surgery or by chemical methods like drugs. But the mind is left out of it to a large degree. And yet we all know, and doctors increasingly recognize, that what people believe, their attitudes, their emotional state, has a huge effect on their healing. The placebo effect, well known in medicine, whereby people who take blank pills, believing them to be powerful wonder drugs, often get better, and remarkably better, much more than if they just thought they were taking a blank pill. The power of belief is enormous and affects the body, affects healing. So these things would, when they're better understood and more widely recognized, would be very relevant to medicine. Also, a more holistic, organic view of the world would be better for understanding our relationship to the environment. Part of the environmental crisis has come about because the scientific view we have is such a limited one. It treats the whole Earth and everything in it and the whole universe as a kind of machine without feelings, thoughts, emotions, mind, just mechanical, dead, inanimate matter. Actually, if the Earth is a living organism, if we're all interrelated, this turns out not to be a very smart attitude to have, and it's bound to lead to trouble. And in fact, it's already leading to big trouble.